You know, when we think of ancient temples, we usually picture these quiet, still places for prayer. But what if that's not the whole story? What if they're actually blueprints? Blueprints of a forgotten science with secrets to engineering and physics that, honestly, still have experts scratching their heads today. Let's dig in and see what's really going on.
Okay, so let's just start with this. Imagine a massive, multi-story temple. Except it wasn't built at all. Instead, it was carved. The whole thing from a single solid piece of mountain.
Or how about this one? Stone pillars, right? Intricately carved, but when you tap them, they play the notes of different musical instruments. Yeah, you heard that right. A literal orchestra made of solid rock.
And what if I told you there's a temple with a flag on its dome that flies against the wind every single day? Sounds impossible, doesn't it? Well, here's the thing. These aren't just myths or legends. They're real, observable facts. And the key to understanding all of it might just lie in an ancient scientific code. So how is any of this even possible? Well, a lot of it seems to come back to this foundational concept called Vastu Shastra. Now, this isn't just about drawing up blueprints. Think of it as an ancient, incredibly sophisticated science of architecture. The whole goal was to design buildings that were in perfect harmony with the Earth's own magnetic fields and cosmic energies. It's this amazing intersection of physics and spirituality, and it's the code we need to start cracking these mysteries.
All right, let's kick things off with some engineering that, well, it just seems to defy all logic. Our first stop is the incredible Kailash Temple at Ellora.
To create this temple, it's estimated that they excavated 200,000 tons of solid rock. Just try to picture that for a second. And remember, this was all done without a single piece of modern machinery. No cranes, no dynamite. They didn't just move a mountain. They literally hollowed one out.
But here's the part that really breaks your brain. It's how they did it. See, unlike any building today that starts from the ground up, the Kailash Temple was carved from the top down. The artisans started at the very peak of the mountain and chiseled their way downwards, revealing this perfectly balanced, monolithic structure from the stone. It wasn't constructed, it was uncovered. Okay, so if carving a temple from the top down shows an insane mastery of mass and balance, our next stop shows a mastery of defying gravity itself. So, get this. In the Virabhadra temple in Lopakshi, there's this one pillar out of 70 massive pillars in total that doesn't actually touch the floor. It hangs from the ceiling. There's just enough of a gap that you can slide a piece of cloth or a newspaper right underneath it. This isn't some optical illusion. It's an absolutely mind-boggling feat of weight distribution that just seems to laugh in the face of physics.
But this ancient science went so far beyond just building things. They also mastered things like sound, and even the movement of the stars.
It sounds like something out of a fantasy novel, right? But at the Vitala Temple in Hampi, stone was literally engineered to make music. The temple has 56 of these so-called musical pillars. They are a symphony carved from granite. When you tap them gently, they don't just thud, they produce clean, precise musical notes. And different groups of pillars are designed to sound like different instruments. I mean, this suggests that the artisans knew how to carve solid rock with such incredible precision that they could actually control its resonant frequency. That is acoustic engineering that would be incredibly difficult to pull off even today.
And it wasn't just the properties of stone they'd mastered. They were precisely mapping the cosmos. And in some temples, the cosmos itself becomes part of the architecture.
Okay, so check this out. Every single year, on one specific day, the day of Makar Sankranti, the rays of the setting sun are channeled through this perfectly designed series of openings, and they fall directly onto the sacred idol deep inside the temple's dark inner sanctum. This is no accident. It's a breathtakingly precise astronomical calculation set in stone, and it has worked like clockwork for centuries. All right, so we've seen these incredible individual marvels, but now we're going to a place where all of these different phenomena seem to converge, creating this nexus of mysteries that pushes the known laws of science to their absolute limit. We're talking about the Jagannath Temple in Puri. So the first mystery starts with the idols themselves. Right off the bat, something's different. Unlike in most Hindu temples, they're not made of stone or metal, they're made of wood. And they're actually replaced in this highly secret ceremony every 12 years. The reason for this whole ritual is the belief that one of the wooden idols houses a sacred relic, something called the Brahma Pradarth, which legend says is the actual heart of the deity Krishna. And this is where it gets really strange. During this transfer ceremony, the head priest is completely blindfolded and has to wear thick gloves. Priests who have performed it describe holding the object not like a static relic, but like something organic and pulsing with life. One of them said it feels like holding a living rabbit in your hands.
And believe it or not, that's just the beginning of the weirdness at this temple. Every single day, people observe that the flag at the very top of the dome flies in the opposite direction of the sea breeze. It's just a simple observable fact that has absolutely no scientific explanation.
Then you've got the temple kitchen. The amount of food cooked each day is fixed. It's supposedly enough for a few thousand people. And yet, it doesn't matter if 2,000 devotees show up or 20,000 show up. There is always enough for everyone. And, miraculously, not a single grain of food is ever thrown away.
Even the way the food is cooked seems to defy thermodynamics. Okay, this one might break your brain a little. They stack 7 clay pots, one on top of the other, over a wood fire. Now, logic and physics tell us that the bottom pot, the one closest to the fire, should cook first, right? Heat rises. But here, the food in the topmost pot is ready first. The cooking actually proceeds downwards, as if heat itself is flowing in reverse.
And if you think that's it, the list just keeps going. The massive 214-foot dome casts no shadow at any time of day. No birds, not even airplanes, are ever seen flying above the temple dome. And the huge disc at the very top, the Sudarshan chakra, it appears to be facing you, no matter where you are standing in the entire city.
So, wow, after seeing all of this, you kind of have to take a step back and just ask, what does all this mean? I mean, these are clearly more than just places of worship. They're like libraries built out of stone. They are tangible proof of an extraordinary and deep knowledge of engineering, of acoustics, astronomy, and physics. This isn't just incredible art, it's applied science on a truly epic scale.
Which brings us to the final, really important question. Are we just looking at religious monuments here? Or are these structures the last remaining echoes of a highly advanced civilization, a golden age of science whose greatest achievements we've forgotten so much about that we now simply mistake them for miracles?